Suze, it's a pleasure to have you here. 10-time New York Times bestselling author, and host of the recently renamed podcast, Women in Money, and Everyone's Smart Enough to Listen. So Bitcoin, Suze, tell me what your 2 cents is on it and its safety for the general public.
Well, you know, what's interesting is back in April, really, I was especially on the podcast telling everybody, any money that you can afford to lose, then I don't have a problem with you investing in Bitcoin whatsoever. But it's not a currency, in my opinion, Kelly. It's there for the long run. And recently on the podcast, I was really saying, I still like that you're investing in Bitcoin. You have to hold it for the long run, but I do think it's possible that it could go back down to its May lows of about $30,000 when it hit that, or possibly even $26,000. And what I don't like about it now, however, so just a little caution here, is that I don't like that one man can come out and say something and it controls the market. Is he going to accept it for his Teslas? Is he not? And it moves the market 13%. Number one, I don't like that. And I also don't like, I have to tell you, how Bitcoin is part of the ransomware and allowing that to happen. So will the government come in and start to regulate it and everything? I don't know. But I still think for the long run, it's a place to put some money and just leave it, but not a lot.
That is surprising, I think, for a lot of people. So one more word on this, and we'll move along because you have a ton of other things going on, Suze. But what do you say to those who go, Suze, how can you say this is a legitimate investment? You know, for all the work that you've done to financial education and literacy and, you know, what's prudent to really spend, you know, why do you think this is something that people should, you know, treat as a legitimate investment over time?
Right. Because there was a little while there that major corporations were pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into it, number one. The youth of America likes it. And you have to really validate them as to where they're going. If you don't like Bitcoin itself or a cryptocurrency itself as an investment, then you could also invest in it the way that I did a while ago is, you know, I bought MicroStrategies at $125 a share about June 5th of last year, sold it for $1,030. I think Square is a fabulous way to play cryptocurrency if you want. So there are other ways to play it other than just simply buying the crypto itself.
All right. Let me move along and kind of, as we talk about investments and growing wealth and so forth, SecureSave is a company you're involved with. It's an app, really. You're trying to get emergency savings and the app that kind of helps you build that basically as a workplace benefit. Is that right? How does this work? Are there any tax advantages to it? And how would it help people?
Yeah, the way it helps people is the one thing that most people find in life to make them feel secure is they need an emergency fund, Kelly. And guess what? The majority of the people out there, they don't even have $400 to their name. That is why you saw during the pandemic, people who were making $200,000 a year standing in a food line. So this is an out of plan, it's out of service for companies where we make it very easy. It's an app. It's so easy, I can't even tell you, where the employees decide on an amount of money, usually it's $25 or $50 a paycheck, to put into this emergency fund. And the employers match whatever decision, what they make to match whatever amount of money. This is not tax deductible. This is all free money, so to speak, especially what the employer is giving them. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want people to stop going to their 401k plans to take out money when they don't have any money. Now we make it so simple for all employees to automatically fund through their paycheck an emergency fund with the employer giving them incentive to do so. And the employers are loving it because it's creating loyalty to the employer and it's taking stress off of the employee, which makes them a better employee.
Suze, Tyler here. First things first, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. I know you had one last week. It actually happens to occur on my anniversary to my wife, Jo, whom you know as well. Let's pivot. I know you've talked about crypto. I know you've talked a little about Secure and building emergency funds. We did a survey with Acorns on LGBT-owned businesses, and there were some interesting findings in there. 70-some% of them are solely owned by the proprietor. Most of them have not made a succession plan. Many of them are carrying large levels of personal debt. Is that different from non-LGBT business owners? What's different here, if you know?
Yeah, one thing that I really want everybody to understand is that money does not have a sexuality, money does not have a race, money does not have a religion. So normally when you are running a business, the same things that plague, any business applies to everybody. So I understand that this is a problem with the LGBTQ plus community, but it's really a problem for everybody, Ty. And so it's important that you do have a succession plan. If something happens to you, who's going to replace you? And you need to start planning for that right now. Even in my own company, with the new company that I just started, SecureSave, there is a succession plan in place, but people, it's hard to do because who's going to do it? It's something you just have to do.
Yeah, it was the reason I asked. I mean, we did the survey, and here are the findings of it. And I found myself wondering, well, that's probably sort of like what any business person would be facing in terms of their labor relations or the amount of debt that they're carrying or the fact that they don't have a succession plan. Can you think of anything other than potentially the discrimination that LGBTQ business owners may experience or may not, that makes them different from non-LGBTQ business owners? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, discrimination is a big thing. And that the ability to tell everybody, listen, I'm proud. Everybody knows that I've been a lesbian my whole life. And I was proud and still am proud. And it was the first thing that I said to CNBC, you do know that I'm a lesbian. And so what happens, Ty, is that when somebody doesn't stand in their pride and they're not proud, then that affects their decisions with everything, including what they do with money, how they feel about money. Will, the house that they're living in, if they die, will it go to their, their boyfriend or girlfriend or their non-binary, whatever it is? And will their parents honor it? Will they not? So there's more the emotional and the discrimination things that come like that. Now with marriage equality and things, it's not so bad. There's not that many differences, to tell you the truth. But people feel in their heads that there is, and if they feel it, then it's valid for them, and we have to deal with it.
Well, Suze, once again, happy birthday, and I'm proud to call you a friend. I'm proud to have you as a colleague at CNBC. Suze Orman, great to see you. And on a programming note, Suze will answer LGBTQ small business owner question. Yes, good to see you, my friend. She's going to answer questions during a LinkedIn Live event hosted by Kate Rogers. It's June 17th. I think that's Thursday. Pretty sure. But June 17th from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. To register, go to cnbc.com/Suze Orman event. And we should note that NBC Universal.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.